Hey, soul seekers, it is intuitive energy healer Kathy Weiss here. Welcome to this week's bonus channeled message. I'm coming to you live from my reading room here on the central coast of California. And today's bonus message is all about what to do about Black Friday burnout or other types of burnout. So, what I'm going to do today is back up and give you a little bit of like the backstory of how and why today's message came about, and then we'll get into it. So, the first thing that's really important to note is that I'm a highly sensitive intuitive. And an interesting fact is that only about 10 to 20% of the population is highly sensitive. And so someone who's highly sensitive can feel the energy and emotions of other people. And when you don't know that you have this gift or this ability, it can be difficult to control and moderate. So I have spent several years learning for myself how to control and moderate and understand when I'm feeling my own feelings and when I'm feeling the energy or feelings of another person or the collective, like what we're feeling as a whole or a group of people. And so the collective energy around Black Friday this year was really tired and worn out. So, for those of you who are watching from perhaps someplace other than the United States, let me explain a little bit about what Black Friday is. So, we have our Thanksgiving holiday at the end of November, and then a lot of people had or do have the day after Thanksgiving off as another holiday. And so, I don't even know when this started, maybe in the like 50s or 60s, for sure by the 70s, because I remember doing this as a child, that you would go holiday shopping the day after Thanksgiving, and that's when you would really start to prepare yourself for Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever holidays that you were going to celebrate. And so a lot of the larger retailers and department stores on the day after Thanksgiving would go from being in the red or being in debt into being in the black or making a profit. And so it became known as Black Friday. And as retailers became aware of this, they started to want to entice more people to come into their stores and get those Black Friday profits even higher with special discounts or deals. And then those started to become like early bird specials that were like first thing in the mornings, you get extra savings. And over the last several years, it sort of snowballed into now Black Friday starts on Thursday. Oh, but that's the holiday, so maybe we'll just start it on Monday. And now it's going into the following week and on and on. And not only are retailers now taking advantage of this Black Friday energy, but so are service providers. And so even just an example from myself is I was seeing in my inbox my email, and this is where it really came from email. We're starting to see like discounts on yoga retreats and personal coaching and private training, and all of these different service providers are now offering discounts on top of our retailers that are, sending us discounts and deals and this and that. And collectively, what I could feel is that we're all just so bombarded that we're exhausted to the point of being burnt out. Like we cannot take in any more information, and it's really wearing us down. And so I wanted to find or channel some really healing messages for all of us around this feeling of being overwhelmed and bombarded with constantly being told what we want and need rather than seeking it out on our own. And I wanted also for this channeled message to have some really specific action step guidance. Like, here is exactly what you can do about this burnout and this feeling of bombarded and I'm tired and I'm over it, whether it's around Black Friday or this can also going to start to apply to other areas of your life. We're just using the Black Friday burnout as an example. So right before I dive in, I want to show you, I've got two crystals that I brought into the energy of the message today. This pretty guy is pink and black, and it supports the energy and the health and healing of your heart. And the second one that I brought in is this gorgeous stone. I know it's backwards. I'm using the reverse camera today, that says faith. And so the idea and the energy towards the end of today's bonus message is to have faith in your own heart. So if you haven't seen me do a bonus channeled message before, I get the information, I hear it in my mind when I'm in deep meditation, 1 to 2, 3, maybe 4 words at a time. So what I have to do is write the message down as I'm hearing it. Otherwise, it's going to flow through me and out into the world, and it's gone. It doesn't stick inside of me. So I'm going to be looking over at my notes to read today's bonus message. Okay, here we go. I love this one. You guys are going to love it too. It says, discernment comes from disconnection. Stop looking for your answers outside yourself. Delete, mute, unsubscribe, turn off, and tune in. Okay, so what this means is like, you know the emails you get where you never even open them? So go ahead and open one and unsubscribe. Or you know the emails that you get and then you're like, oh, not that company, person, product, again. Go in, unsubscribe. Clear that energy out, because what it's doing is this is an external voice trying to tell you what you need in your life. But if you're not opening and interested and engaged, that's just noise that's adding to that feeling of burnout. So get in there and delete that stuff, unsubscribe that stuff, okay? And then also the turn off part means there's got to be some point in your day where you're not looking at a screen. You're not listening to the radio in your car, because they're all full of advertisements, right? Even if you're watching something on Netflix, it's advertising other things for you to be watching. Or if you're hanging out over there, just playing around watching like some YouTube videos, over there on the side, they're advertising other things that you should be watching. And again, this is all this bombardment that's like wearing us down. Okay, so not saying you have to do it 100% of the time, because like, hello, we're doing this together on some of those platforms, right? So, but here's the thing. I'm going to go back into the message now. You will only ever know what you need and want on all levels in stillness and quiet. Okay, we mean all things. When I say we, this is our guides talking. We mean all things. What food to eat, what clothes to wear, what job to have, what places you go to, who you spend time with, what you want to watch and listen to, or not. Any of those things, or not. Those all come from within. The bombardment from advertising and external forces has left you weary and confused. We say unto you this, it is as simple as setting. It is as simple as setting aside 5 minutes each day to be still and quiet. Now, don't let that freak you out, because some people are like, I can't do that because I can't meditate or I don't know how. What our guides are saying to us right now is just like, sit or lay down, set a timer for 5 minutes, and just breathe. And don't look at a screen, talk to somebody, listen to anything. Just be still and quiet. And it says in the message, here's what it says. You do not need a goal or to meditate or to craft or create any experience. Just sit or lie still without external noise or influence for 5 minutes each day and see what happens. In this, we love you. This message is complete. So the discernment that is coming from disconnection comes from those couple of key action steps. Delete and unsubscribe any emails you're getting in that don't light you up. If you're like, ugh, or you're not even opening them, get off those lists, okay? And then to sit still and quiet, or lie still and quiet for 5 minutes a day, set a timer, is how you're going to start to have that faith that your heart knows what you need, all levels: food, clothing, shelter, people, entertainment, gifts, things you want to do for fun, places you want to go. Those are all inside you, and you don't need any external force or factor telling you what you need. You don't really need the extra 10% off. It's lovely if it's there and available at a time when you're ready to make a purchase, but you don't need it, okay? So, what I'm going to do is pull an oracle card to support today's message. I'm using the Mother Mary Oracle deck. And for those of you who are not familiar with oracle cards, they're a little bit like tarot cards. They're just inspirational tools. They're not like predictors, or even these are not outside influences telling you what to do. They're more a way for us to like tap even deeper in and start to hear and trust our own intuition around the healing messages and the guidance that came up. And I was going to cut the deck really deep, but it went shallow. Actually, I'm hearing we're going to pull 2 cards today. How fun. I was only going to do one because there's one from the shallow cut and there's one at the top of the deeper cut that I was originally going to pull. So that's going to be our second card today. So the first one is Our Lady of Love. And I mean, immediately, you guys, I was pulled to that gorgeous heart that's glowing right at the center of her. And she is pure positive love. Like this entire card is just like radiating love. And down here, I just caught these beautiful, peaceful doves that are flying by. And what this image is speaking to me about is the love in your heart. You are that love and you are that shining light, and you don't need all of these things. There are, now hear that correctly. There are things that you need. There are things that you want. There are service providers who can assist you in living a fuller, richer, more satisfying life. Okay, but what Our Lady of Love is saying is that you know what those things are, and you can choose to bring them into your life and not have all of that other stuff get you confused and conflicted and concerned. Okay. Um, I'm not even going to pop into the guidebook for this one. I'm hearing that we'll look at the guidebook for the second card today to support the message. So the second card today is Our Lady of the Resurrection. She is just got a completely different energy. Look at how peaceful and calm and wise she is, right? We know that owls represent wisdom. And so she's just got this wisdom, and her heart here in this one is more golden. It's I can feel like, yeah, just there's like a peace and a radiance coming from her, and that she's sort of rising up into the fullness of herself and the truth in her heart. And so if we look at discernment and getting still and quiet, the whole reason you do that is to find the truth in your own heart and not allow external forces and factors to make decisions about what's right or what you need in your life. And again, on all levels, I keep hearing that really strongly as I'm going through the message, that it's on all levels, from your basic daily needs to life experiences to the people that you hire to help you live a full, satisfying life. And I hear a little bit of humor because I am a service provider, right? And I help people live full and satisfying lives. But I guarantee you that I never tell my clients what to do. I provide suggestions and guidance, just like today. The guidance of like getting off those email lists and sitting still and quiet. But you have free will, and it's up to you whether you follow the guidance or not. So I love the humor in that today. I promise you, I will never ever make my clients do anything that they don't feel is resonating or in alignment with them. However, what I'm hearing is to remind you, because I am highly sensitive and a clairvoyant and intuitive, I am channeling the information from a higher source, and that people who do follow the guidance and wisdom that I provide in a session find that they're making greater progress towards living their soul and heart-centered lives. Back to Our Lady of Resurrection, of the Resurrection. Let's see, she is about discovering the light after the struggle, about life after death. So not, I mean, maybe you are experiencing a literal death of a human or a pet or something like that, but this is about more about the death of allowing your identity and allowing your choices to be dictated by those outside forces and really, really having the faith that your heart knows the way. So perhaps the death you have encountered or literal, or perhaps it's the parting through separation of some kind, or the endings. Here we go. This is it. The endings are more subtle, internal, or symbolic. That's the kind of ending we're talking about today. Okay. So, whatever the case, the Divine Mother speaks to you now about the promise of her light. As you await the grace of her light to permeate your consciousness and help you rise up out of the ashes of your own suffering, you're asked to take a moment and connect to the wisdom of the owl, right? When I first showed you guys the card, we sort of tuned into the owl and the wisdom. And again, what I'm being asked to remind you is that the wisdom of all that you need is inside. Everything from, okay, I'm just being asked to really reiterate this so you get it. The food you eat, the clothes you wear, the people you spend time with, the movies and TV shows you watch, the music that you listen to, all of those things, all of that wisdom resides within your heart. And you do not need external influence to make those decisions. What you need is that quiet 5 minutes a day where you just sit still and let the external influences fall away so that you can hear and have faith that your heart knows the way for you. Man, I love this message today, guys. It is so good. Okay, there's one last little bit that I need to drop down for you out of the guidebook today, and it's this. Our Lady of the Resurrection lifts us from even the deepest sorrow and gently urges us into new light, new understanding, and new life. Take heed, beloved, your time of darkness is swiftly drawing to a close, and a new day is soon to be upon you. So if you're someone who has been feeling this burnt out, weariness, I can't even deal with any of all of the blah coming at me anymore. I get it. And the way that you're going to heal and settle and move forward is from the guidance in the channeled message today. If you missed it, go back and watch the beginning of the video because there's some really poignant and important pieces of information in there about how to clear the external clutter out of your life and get quiet and into the energy of your own heart. Today's message is complete. Hey, check it out. Next Wednesday, I'm super stoked. We're going to go back to the Sacred Rebels deck of cards because we're going to talk about hijacking the holidays and taking the greatest risk you can, which is the risk of your own inner peace. Boom! So excited about that one. I love you guys so much. And I hear and feel a lot of you clamoring and wanting really individualized energy readings and attention. And I want to give it to you, but there is so much coming in right now. The only way I can really like hone in and get you your specific messages is if you make an appointment for a one-on-one session with me. And I do have a handful left as we sort of wrap up 2018. So if you're someone who's wanting to get really clear for the new year, really start living your heart-centered, soul-centered life as opposed to the life that other people are telling you to live, let's get together and let's get you the healing messages and the action steps and the guidance that you need for you to live your soul-centered and heart-centered life. Because I promise you, when you do, you feel amazing. And what I want for you, nothing more, is for you to feel as amazing and fantastic about your life as I do, because I know it's possible. I'm going to see you next Monday for a free live intuitive energy reading. And until then, y'all, I am sending you love and good juju to release yourself from the burnout and have a fabulous holiday season. I love you so much. See you next week. Namaste. Bye, everybody. Love you.